All right, we back again, looking for the Victini. I don't know what kind of opening that was. Okay. It is a Monday indeed. We are back yet again, looking for Shiny Victini. We are here in the basement of the Liberty Garden little lighthouse thingamabobber. We have clean old action replays in place, removing the shiny lock. So if anyone has a question how this is happening, yes, Victini is shiny locked, but you can use methods that are out there to remove the shiny lock, which we have done. If you would like to do it yourself, just the code is in the description. Let's just go to it. That was really awkward. Why was that so awkward? I have no idea. Probably because it's a Monday and I got to get back into the stream. I gotta get back into. Yeah. So how's everyone doing today? Ryder, where are you? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing back there? Huh? So yeah, goodness gracious, I'm all over the place. I thought I was well prepared and good to go here today, but turns out no, I am not. I am all over the place. But hey, you know, that happens sometimes. That is life. Sometimes you are just a wee bit out of sorts, but we will get right back to it. Today was a Monday. It was a fine Monday. Nothing really to write home about. Ryder is he is mean mugging me hard. He's like, bro, stop yapping and come lay down in bed. I want to relax. Buddy, I'm a little busy here. You're going to have to go relax on your own. And he's like, nope. No, I had the little gate. We have a little hallway that leads up to this office that I'm in. At the gate, we have a little doggy gate in front of the hallway so they can't get to the hallway and the front door and everything. Had that closed, had my office door closed, and despite the music playing, the fan going, and the door closed, I could still hear him out in the living room whining his little head off like, hey, please don't forget me. I would like to come bother you. And so bother me, he has come. But yeah, I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. It was my birthday weekend this past weekend, so I did have a pretty good weekend myself. Got some good gifts, including a stream deck, which I don't have set up for today, so no stream deck shenanigans that could potentially be afoot. Got to get that set up. I'll probably have to do that this coming weekend. I doubt I'll have time to do it during the week. Maybe I can find time potentially tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see. But did get that for my birthday, so we got a stream deck. And I got Pokemon Scarlet. Emily decided to get me Pokemon Scarlet. Never played those games, have not played Scarlet or Violet. Will I be playing Scarlet anytime soon, even though Emily just bought it for me? Who knows? I'm pretty busy playing through Generations 3, 4, and 5 on repeat constantly, day in, day out, trying to get this here Shiny Living Dex completely underway in tow. And it's a lot of work. It's mainly because I'm trying to play through like 12, 13 different copies of games at one time. I'm trying to play through 4 copies of Black 2, White 2, 2 copies of Black and White. Actually, it's 4 copies of Black and White. I could play through a 5th. I do have 2 copies of Japanese Black, I believe. I got 4 copies of Ruby Sapphire that I need to play through. I have a copy of Emerald that I need to play through. I've got 2 Fire Reds, 1 Leaf. I got so many freaking Pokemon games on deck that I need to play through. Who knows if I'll actually get around to playing through Scarlet anytime soon. I do have plans to play Legends Arceus here before Legends ZA comes out. Now, granted, Legends ZA is coming out in like 9 months, more than likely, so plenty of time to get around to playing Legends Arceus before then, but we'll see when that manages to actually happen. I'm planning on streaming that. I might take... It's tough to say because this Shiny Living Dex is going to take up so much time, but I might take a month away from shiny hunting just to purely play Legends Arceus. Just to give me a good full playthrough of the game. I might have a little video in mind as well to put together before ZA comes out. So if I can get a good playthrough of Legends Arceus in and put together a video, then we can get back into the swing of the Shiny Living Dex. I swear, I keep feeling like I have something in my mouth. is the most awkward sensation in the world. I really do not enjoy it, and I cannot get it to leave, whatever it is. Feels like there's a hair or something, which, you know, I live with 2 small dogs that have a lot of hair, so I do often find myself just randomly filled with hair. But Chance, what up, what up? Yeah, this is traditionally shiny locked, but we have removed the shiny lock using the power of action replay devices. Yeah, the code that I'm using to remove the shiny lock is in the description of the live, description of the stream. You want to give it a shot yourself. And I am under the impression that it works. The shiny lock has been effectively removed. I got the code from a video of someone finding Shiny Victini in these games using the code, so I trust that they did not lie to me. And we've also had someone on the channel confirm that they used the code to find Shiny Victini as well. So I have good faith to believe that this shiny lock has truly been removed. But we shall see. I guess if I end up a clean 20,000, I mean, you know, we got very close to 20k on Tepic, so, you know, getting to 20k is not an indication that the shiny lock has not in fact been removed. We could just be insanely unlucky, and I really hope that's not the case. I hope Shiny Victini shows up real quick so I don't got to start questioning myself, wondering if the shiny lock has truly been eradicated or not. Lower my chair down a little bit and raise up my armrests. There we go. But if anyone's been here before, you may notice that I have a different Pokemon up front leading the way, leading the charge into this here legendary, you know, mythical, legendary, same thing, shiny hunt. I have 2 Breloons now. I had Haxorus before. That was, you know, just went and grabbed an easy fall swiper and Haxorus, because wild Axew in this game just come with fall swipes. So that was an easy peasy pickup. But then while going through trying to figure some stuff out for my birthday stream last week, I found out I can get Breloom and Black 2 White 2 from the Hidden Grottos, and thanks to the power of past powers, I was able to get a Breloom pretty freaking quickly and start breeding it. And so now we have a False Swiper and a Sporemon in one, which is very clutch. Very good, especially for legendary hunts like this, where legendaries are not the easiest thing in the world to catch. It is pretty nice to have one Pokemon that can take the legendary down to 1 HP and put it to sleep all in one go. And even though we are weak to both of Victini's stabs, we are weak to fire with our grass type, and we are weak to psychic with our fighting type, you might be able to tell we are 85 levels over the Victini, so I'm not too worried about good old Breloom going down to any incinerates or confusions. That's about all Victini has for us, so we should be in the clear. I've been going for a second. Let me just make sure everything is good. I'm pretty sure we are handy dandy good to go. Yep, that's looking good over there. And you know, actually jump on in here. All right, there we go. I think we are up and running. It's taking a second. Okay, yeah. There we go. Ryder just, you can see him, right? He just fell asleep right there. He's, oh, I always forget I gotta re-click on that. He's like, Dad, I'm bored. I know you're home all day and you play with us while you work, but I'm still bored. They are spoiled little puppies. They are spoiled. Ryder does not remember the times when I actually had to go to work. He's getting too spoiled. Leo is incredibly spoiled. That little boy has never known a time when he had to really stay home alone. I guess when we first got him, for like 6 months, I was not working from home, so he did have to stay in a little pen. He hated it. Oh my goodness, he hated that. But after that, he has been home free with me here to entertain and serve their every whim. Let's see, I guess I was talking about I got a stream deck from Emily and a copy of Pokemon Scarlet, and then my parents from my B-Day just got me a actually it's sitting right here, got me a like water pool kind of frisbee for University of Georgia. It's got a big G on it, and then some shirts. Got me an Oakley shirt, which is interesting. I've owned a couple pairs of Oakley sunglasses, and by a couple I mean exactly two. Always been what's the word, partial towards Oakley when it comes to sunglasses. I'm not a big sunglasses person to begin with, mostly wear glasses, so you know, sunglasses themselves are not something I am wearing very often, but whenever I do actually find myself wearing contacts, I enjoy the look and feel of some Oakleys. I'm not really not a Costa, not a Ray-Ban, none of that. I like me some Oakleys. That all stems back from good old high school. Back in, I think it was around freshman or sophomore year, one of my friends got us all on the freaking Oakley trend. He got a pair, and for some reason we were all just enamored by it, and so like 3 or 4 of us copied him and got our own pairs of Oakleys eventually. I wore out those pairs, good lord. I got these they were like, the framing was clear and the lenses were red, because of course I would get freaking red lenses. That is very much me. I'm a big red fan. It is not, well, I guess I'm only have a little bit of red on me at the moment, but I'm a big fan of the color red. That is my favorite color. So clear for what was I about to say there? Clear frame with the red lenses, and man, I wore those into the ground. My freaking the lenses, by the, you know, probably had them well over a decade by the time I got a new pair, and the entire like outside of the front of the lenses has started like chipping off and going, you know, falling away. They were almost perpetually smudged because I'd worn them like at the beach and gone swimming and gotten, you know, salt water on them and stuff, and so there was just kind of a haze, like a smudging to them. They weren't in the best shape, but I, you know, got the job done. But I finally, what was it, I guess last year, was it over the summer? Yeah, it was around, I think it was the 4th of July weekend or week, whatever it was. Went out of town, went to the beach with my parents and sister and Emily, and decided, you know what, it's been long enough, I'll grab me a new pair of sunglasses. But I went much more basic this time. No clear frame and red lenses. I just went with black on black frame, black lenses. I'm more tame in my color selection now. In high school, I really enjoyed the bright kind of showy colors, little splashes of showy colors, like my shirts and shorts. Like I just liked, you know, traditional khaki shorts, or like, you know, just black athletic shorts, and, you know, just your kind of run-of-the-mill Abercrombie t-shirts, you know, Nike shirts, nothing too crazy. But when it came to hats and shoes, oh, I love me some color. I had like bright neon green shoes at one point, then transition from that, I had some and it wasn't, the whole thing wasn't neon green, it was just the bottom of it, like the soles. The meshing part was like a grayish white, but the bottom part, the sole, just bright neon green. And then moved on from those. I got ones with like a bright orange bottom. I didn't like those quite as much, so I didn't wear those as often. I did have those after that as well. And then, you know, I think it was right before college, maybe a little bit into, I think I had 2 pairs of these. The Roshi runs that Nike did. Those were some good shoes. Roshi runs were legit, and they were cheap too. For like Nikes, they were like 70, 80 bucks, something like that. It's a shame that I don't think they make those anymore. But they were affordable, and they were comfy, and they looked good. I had 2 all red pairs. Like everything was red. Shoelaces, mesh, bottom, you know, sole, everything red. I wore those shoes into the ground. Those are probably the most worn out I've ever. There's a reason why I had to get a second pair, and then I wore the second pair out into the ground too. I had the first pair in college, and I was wearing them at work one day, and I was going around the corner while I was carrying a kind of heavy trash bag. I was around the corner to take it outside to throw it away, It was tiniest bit slick, like not much, but considering I had 0 traction on my shoes from how much I'd worn them out, I hit that little slick spot and turned the corner, just whoosh, right out from it. Luckily, I landed on the trash bag, so I kind of landed sideways onto the trash bag, broke my fall, didn't hurt myself or anything. But yeah, that was like, oh, I need a new pair. So I forget. I think I either told my mom I needed a new pair and she like got me another pair for Christmas or something. But yeah, then I got a second pair, which I then proceeded to wear into the ground. I ended up with like a little hole in the top of it by one of the toes or something. Yeah, wore those out entirely. But really, that was the last time I had like, I guess those are only 3 pairs of like really brightly colored shoes. But I did, you know, considering I wasn't buying new shoes all the time, it makes sense. You know, I like the bright colored shoes. I wore them for probably close to, nah, definitely not 10 years. 6, 7 years, something like that. I don't know. I don't know where that whole story tangent came from. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, suffices. I guess it did stem from me saying I got an Oakley shirt from my parents for my birthday. Just a nice plain gray shirt, which that is perfectly good for me now. I am not wearing the fancy colors anymore. It's a nice gray shirt will do. Man, oh man, oh man. And then what else I got? I got like a Hawaiian kind of shirt. I don't know if I call it Hawaiian. It's like a fishing shirt. I don't fish, but it's kind of a nice tropical looking shirt. It has little red and black outlines of the state of Georgia all over it. And I think my mom mostly got that for me to like wear on our cruise that we're going on soon. Yeah, I don't wear stuff like that too often, but on a cruise in like nice beach setting, nice little tropical area, I'll wear me a little Hawaiian type shirt. I have a couple. I guess I have one. I have one singular Hawaiian Pokemon shirt I got from Box Lunch way back in the day. Don't think it really fits me anymore. At least not fully buttoned up. I could probably fit it. You know, I can definitely fit it just putting it over top of something, but buttoning it up, probably not anymore. Probably can't button that thing up anymore. And it was got that about 30-40 pounds ago, so gotta shred some weight if I want to truly wear that thing again. Also have what? I think I have a Star Wars. Is that Star Wars? Yeah, I think it's a Star Wars. It's like a you know, I bought this way back when The Mandalorian was pretty hype still. Like in between season 1 and 2 kind of thing, I believe. Yeah, it's like a Mandalorian style Hawaiian shirt, kind of darker color. The Pokemon one is a nice bright blue with, you know, palm trees. Are they actual palm trees or are they Alolan Executors? I don't remember. To look at it again. Then what? Yeah, that's all. I was kind of feeling those for a second. I was like, ooh, actually I bought those because I was streaming on YouTube back in 2020. But I was streaming like, you know, different channel and I was opening like Pokemon cards. I wasn't doing any of this. I bought those shirts to like wear on stream. I was like, ooh, this will be fun. So what is it with the 2 streams, different characters with the same Pokemon? Yeah, so I'm Swarm of Zambonis. What's up? What's up? I'm playing 2 games at the same time. That is how this is rocking right here. So I have a central controller right here. You know, I plug in this down here into a regular DS with this R4 card in the back, and it allows me to control multiple DSs at one time that are being captured by my computer. So the DSs are sitting right here. They're connected to my computer, and I can use this to control both the DSs at the same time. So they are 2 different games, but I'm going after the same Pokemon. So you can see, I'll pull up the, I guess this is the You can't actually see the Breloom, but you can see the information about the Breloom. You know, they're 2 different Brelooms, different stats and everything. But yeah, that is basically it. That is basically it. But yeah, since I'm going for Victini, the more games, the better. Now I like to hunt with... Oh, I actually accidentally pressed that twice. Gotta remember to take not add any more on the next one around. Well, I'm playing two... I'm shiny hunting, so that's the reason I'm playing 2 at once. I'm trying to get a shiny. And so... You want a shiny Pokemon, the more games you got going, the more likely you are to find a shiny. Numbers work. So yeah, I'm shiny hunting. I'm not actually battling. I'm just encountering, seeing if it's shiny, running away, coming back, seeing if it's shiny. But yeah, in a more grand setting, yes, the controller would desync between the games. But since I'm doing the same few repeatable actions over and over, they don't really desync that often. Occasionally they will get out of sync a little bit, but it's not too difficult to get them back in sync. Does Breloom get false swipe this game? Yes, it does. Which actually, I guess in Victini just used Endure both those times. But yes, Breloom does get false swipe in these games. Learns it by TM. So I got false swipe and spore on my Brelooms. Yeah, you can definitely ask me a question. I like to think I'm pretty knowledgeable about most things Pokemon. Maybe not so much in the newer games. I haven't been playing the newer games, but in general, I feel like I'm a pretty knowledgeable Pokemon person. But yeah, I specifically grabbed these Breloons because they can learn, I think, Breloom's the only Pokemon that can learn False Swipe and Spore, which is pretty clutch. There's Gallade who can learn like Hypnosis and False Swipe, but Hypnosis can miss. Obviously, it's like 50% chance of basically to miss. But yeah, you get that 100% accurate Spore. Nope. In Black 2, White 2, you can get Breloom out of Hidden Grottos, which is where I grabbed one initially out of a Hidden Grotto, and then I bred it to get these. And, yeah. I had to level up a Shroomish all the way to 45 to get Spore, and then evolve it at Breloom, and then teach it False Swipe. But Hot Cocoa, what up? How's it going? Thanks for dropping on in. I appreciate that. So you've never really played Pokemon before. I'm gathering from this. You never really watched the show or played the games as kids, so you have nostalgia for it. Which games did you try playing, if I could ask? Which Pokemon games did you give a shot? There are certainly some Pokemon games that are more difficult than others, but in general, the just regular main series... Have I even been adding encounters? I don't remember. I don't know if I don't think I actually have. I think I've missed a few resets here where I haven't actually been adding encounters, so we might be a tiny bit off here. I think I forgot for a second to click the button. Yeah, I wish I knew the answer to that too, because yeah, leveling up Shroomish all the way to, and now granted, leveling up Pokemon in these games is pretty easy with the power of Audino. So getting the Shroomish all the way up to 45 wasn't too bad. But yeah, you basically have to forego all of Breloom's fighting type moves in order to get Spore on Shroomish. You don't recall what you tried. Okay, that is all good. In terms of difficult Pokemon games, I'm trying to think what would be... Now there's, in terms of vanilla, just straight up released Pokemon games, the difficult ones I would say... Trying to think of from personal experience and the general narrative. Oh, there are a lot of fan mods out there that are really difficult. Like there are fan mods out there that are so fine that are so difficult. I would never even try playing them. Like I know I could not beat them. They're so hard. In terms of just general Pokemon games, like the ones that have actually been released, the Ultra games are really difficult. Or they're more difficult than a lot like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. They're fairly more difficult than your generic Pokemon game, than your typical Pokemon game. So if you want to give the Ultra games a try, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Trying to think. The older games, I wouldn't really say that Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal are all that difficult. Or Gen 3, to be honest. And then like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum aren't that difficult either, I wouldn't say. I would say probably the most difficult Pokemon experience would be the Ultra games. If I'm just thinking about them objectively, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would probably be the toughest time you'd have. I'm not saying it's really hard, but like most Pokemon games are generally fairly easy. Any that are challenging but still fun. Look up, there's this ROM hacker named Drayano, well known for making difficulty ROM hacks, but they're not like so difficult they're impossible to beat without like insane preparation or skill or anything. They're difficult, don't get me wrong, but like they're not the, you know, oh my god, I gotta prep for 3 hours in order to do this one random trainer battle kind of difficult. So like there's a shoot, what is the one he made for Fire Red, Leaf Green? Did I add encounters for that? I don't think I did. But yeah, Drayano, Drayano is the creator of a lot of these ROM hacks. There's like a Storm Silver, Sacred Gold, Blaze Black, Volt White, stuff like that. I'm trying to remember what the ones he made for like Fire Red and Leaf Green are. But yeah, Drayano's hacks have been pretty famous for a long time. I've been involved in the Pokemon space online for well over a decade, and Drayano's been pretty famous for their ROM hacks basically the entire time. And then I'm trying to think, are there other difficult ROM hacks out there? There are also just more fun ones out there. There are difficult ones in the sense that like you have to learn a whole new type chart. So like a pretty recent one is Pokemon Too Many Types. The YouTuber AlphaRad and their team put together Too Many Types. I don't think I added that yet. I haven't played that one yet personally, but I've watched people, videos of people playing it. It looks really fun. But obviously, they add like 30 something new typings to the game that are not traditionally in there. And then there's also fun fan games like Pokemon Sweet is kind of a classic one. They basically take Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, but they change all the typings to be like candies or desserts, and they redesign all the Pokemon to look like candies or desserts. And so you're playing through a revamped version of Fire Red, Leaf Green, but it's like a new type chart with Pokemon Sweets, as they're called. No, you're all good. You're all good. Yeah, Drayano is a great place to start, but Pokemon Too Many Types, TOO Many Types, it's created by AlphaRad, the YouTuber, and their team. That one looks pretty fun. It's pretty wacky and zany with all the typings they add to the game. And then there was a Pokemon Suite that I mentioned. I wouldn't really call it a difficult game. It's more like learning the new type chart is the difficulty around it, and like Pokemon having new types from traditional, because they're like redone to be sweets, like cakes and desserts and stuff. It's just it's a fun ROM hack. Just kind of changes up the Pokemon formula to something a little different. And then there's ones like Insurgents or Insurgents is a pretty popular, well-known one. I feel like I'm so I'm so focused on thinking about this, and I feel like I'm completely forgetting to add my encounters for this Victini here. I feel like I'm going to be very off. I feel like I keep forgetting, but yeah, oh well. What's been your opinions on Legends ZA as of right now? I don't really feel like they've shown all that much to give like a really solid opinion on. Like, what they showed on the Pokemon Day presentation was pretty bare bones. All right, sounds good, Zambonis. Thanks for dropping on in. Appreciate it. And always here to help. But yeah, I'll say I'm not like in love with the way Scarlet Legends ZA looks. I don't think it looks terrible. Like, I didn't watch it and think like, oh man, this looks like another stinker graphically. Oh, it doesn't look like it's going to work very well. I think it's more the art style than like, oh, I think it looks like poorly done from like a technical standpoint. I just don't think I'm a big fan of the art style per se, specifically like the character models. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I don't hate it, definitely not. I didn't love it either. I'm just kind of waiting for the day when they reveal a Pokemon game and I see the graphics and I'm like, whoa, this looks really freaking good. And sure, it looked better than maybe Scarlet Violet or, Sword and Shield, Arceus. And I'll say it looks better than Arceus in the sense of like the textures, maybe the colors maybe look a little bit better. I think Arceus kind of looks like it has more of a better vibe to it. But yeah, I watched the trailer and I wasn't like blown away by how it looks, which at this point, I don't really think we're ever going to be blown away by how a Pokemon game looks. I'd be very surprised if we got a trailer and was like, wow, this game looks incredible. And then in the sense of like the starters, I am perfectly fine with the starters. I know a lot of people are not too happy, specifically because Chikorita and Tepig are two of the most unpopular starters. But, I love me some Tepig, and I have poured a lot of my life into Tepig. So I did appreciate seeing Tepig as one of the starters, and I've always been a fan of Bayleaf per se, not as much Chikorita and definitely not as much Meganium. But because of like the anime and just Bayleaf's design, I like Bayleaf a lot more. So Chikorita really needs some love. So, I wasn't too upset about that. I do think I would have preferred to see a non-Johto starter as the water type. I love Totodile. Totodile was my first starter ever, so I'm definitely not upset to see... What you doing, baby? Definitely not upset to see Totodile. Love me some Gator. But, having two Johto and one Unova starter, it's a little strange, I'll admit. Especially after doing 3 different regions of starters for Legends Arceus. I kind of feel like they should have gone with like Piplup or Poplio or something for the water starter, but I'm not too up in arms about it. I do love all 3 of the starters they did choose, so not really too much of a gripe for me. Then as for like, I know some people are not the, not really, what's the word? Haven't super well received the idea that the entire story takes place within Lumio City. I know some people are not a big fan of that. I think it's one of those things where like you need to see how they execute it before you judge it kind of things. Like, yeah, it certainly could be like, oh wow, this is really limiting and boring and we're just kind of running through the same copy paste buildings over and over and it just feels bland and lifeless. That could certainly happen if they are not careful with it. But like, if it's a really big city, like it's really grand for you to explore and they actually create indoors, you know, specifically in like Scarlet Violet, I know creating indoor areas was not super common. I think it was a lot of overworld with most of the shops and stuff being like little menus that you went into and not actual indoor areas. If they get away from that and they actually have you go inside of a lot of you can go inside of a lot of these buildings. They're not just there for show. They're actually functional. It'll add a lot more to the size of what you can explore. And then obviously I've seen people talk about like, oh, well, you know, France is famous for their catacombs or whatever. They're like underground stuff. So that could certainly be an area of exploration too. That could expand the scope of the world. And I don't know how long they've been truly developing this game, but you know, there's also like the way Tears of the Kingdom was received. I think people really liked the addition of like the depths and stuff, having kind of like 3 layers to the map almost. I think you did add one right there. Having the base level, the sky stuff, and then the underground. I think people like that. So maybe Game Freak will experiment with that and let you go undergrounds. Maybe that's where like the mystery of the region in the game takes place, is the underground section of Lumios. But yeah, I don't think enough was quite shown for me to give too crazy. I know I just said a lot of stuff about it, but like, I'm not in any boat of like, oh my god, I love this. This is going to be the best Pokemon game ever. I'm also not like, oh, this looks terrible. Oh, this is, why are they not trying to do anything cool? Like, I'm very much in the middle of the road of, let's just see how it goes. Let's see what more we can see about it, hear about it, wait till it comes out, and then like, we'll go from there with the hard opinions. I do think the battle style is cool. The new battle system of being able to actually maneuver your Pokemon in battle to avoid attacks and all that. I do think that is pretty cool. The quick time live action battling, I think it's pretty fun. At least it looks like it. I don't know how it'll be executed. Hopefully it's not clunky. Hopefully it's pretty easy. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, that's basically my long-winded way of saying I'm very middle of the road about Legends EA. I think I know the thing that excited me most about the Pokemon Presents was the Pokemon Champions. I think that looks like it could be a real game changer. If it's truly a battle sim, which I'm not exceptionally hopeful that it'll be like a showdown where you just pick a Pokemon, you build it real quick, and you can battle with it like that. I don't think they'll make it that easy. I think there'll be some process involved to building the Pokemon in there. Is it going to be as involved as like real breeding, grinding, EV training, perfecting IVs and all that? I don't think so. I think it'll be easier. I think it'll be like a spend 30 minutes to an hour playing, mini games or doing this, that, whatever. And you can build and perfect your Pokemon however you want. Something like that. Because on top of like providing the battle simulator aspect of it, I think they'll also want to keep people engaged in it long term. And granted, people have been engaged long term in Showdown, and all it is just picking moves and going into a battle. but they probably want to add a little bit more flair to it. So I would understand making it so that people have to play it a bit more and get the Pokemon, but still like making it easier than the traditional grind of getting competitive Pokemon. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they handle the meta per se of playing Pokemon. Like, since it'll be independent of the main games, they can like tweak the rule sets and the everything how they please. You know, I've seen a lot of people talk about like, you know, they can change up the regulations like they do with the VGC regulations, where it's like, okay, now you can only use the Pokemon that are in the game. Okay, now we can add these extra little special Pokemon. Now we'll add legendaries. We'll add this. Okay, we're going to take away that now. Like, they can do that more easily within champions. And, you know, dictate how things work within what you're allowed to battle with. So there could be a meta where Shell Smash Mega Blastoise is allowed. I feel like with some things, since the champions would actually allow them to like balance patch certain things, potentially. Who knows if they would actually do it. But like Shell Smash Mega Blastoise might just be too strong. And so maybe that's one of those things where like, maybe they give it a shot. They're like, let's see how this goes. And then it's like, oh, it's dominating the meta. It's not healthy. Blastoise no longer learns Shell Smash. That kind of approach could be tricky because Pokemon fans are fickle. You know, so many people were outraged over Sword and Shield not having the whole national dex, not being able to use their favorites. So you give someone access to something like Shell Smash Mega Blastoise and then you take it away from them. People maybe won't receive that very well. People can be can have attachments and don't like it when you take their things away. So maybe they won't ever do that. We'll just have to see. But it would be cool if they could. It would be nice to live balance patch Pokemon that are broken. We're going to tweak things so that the competitive meta isn't too centered around certain Pokemon or tactics or anything like that. Right, are you just going to sleep in here the whole evening, buddy? You're not going to go lay down with mom or anything? You're just going to lay right there? Oh, there he goes. Ooh. Yeah, that's not too surprising. Mega Blastoise with Shell Smash is kinda really giving any Mega Pokemon like access to big setup moves like that. Not really a great idea. Because what? With Megas adding 100 BST to each Pokemon, you have what kind of, I guess starters are like in around the 530 range. So like you give a Pokemon 100 extra BST from that, putting them in the 600s. You've now got something that's stronger than a lot of legendaries. And then you give it access to a move that increases its attack, special attack, and speed by 2 stages. That's pretty busted. It's kind of like giving a legendary with 670 BST 100 base stat total increase through a mega, but not actually having to make it hold a mega stone, letting it hold whatever item it wants, as long as it has a certain nuclear weapon of a move on it. That'd be kind of broken, right? Good thing nothing like that's ever existed. Mega Rayquaza. Like, seriously, that's still just crazy. Like, Mega Rayquaza. 770 BST. At least I'm pretty sure it was 770. I think there were some megas that didn't get a whole 100. They only got 90, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But I don't think Rayquaza was one of them. I think it got boosted all the way up to 770 BST and was allowed to hold an item. As long as it just has a flying type close combat. Oh no. Whatever will I do? Just wild stuff. Wild stuff. Oops, all Leafeon. What up, what up? I think I'm at a very aggressive tie right now. I think is what I would say. I don't think either side has ceded any ground. I think we are very much at a standstill in the moment. Hopefully I'll be winning real soon though. Hopefully real soon I will take victory from the victory Pokemon itself. Because Lord knows I could certainly use a quick shiny hunt. Lord knows I could certainly use a full odds hunt that doesn't take 8 months of my life. Let's see, what were we talking? I guess we were talking about broken megas and such. I guess, you know, Mewtwo wasn't exactly, you know, broken per se. It's kind of crazy considering it was, you know, got the same kind of buff that Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre did. But Mega Mewtwo Y wasn't really a broken Pokemon. It was certainly pretty dang strong, don't get me wrong, but I guess given the nature of what Mewtwo Y and X were, it makes sense they wouldn't be quite as busted as the other ones. Although, I guess in an essence, Mega Rayquaza is also just a kind of a single target nuclear button. Well, you can learn like Earthquake and stuff, but really, Primal Groudon was the crazy good one, the best of the best of all the megas and primals, and then I think Kyogre was like close second. I really don't know the VGC meta too incredibly well from back then. But you always prefer Mega Lucario. Mega Lucario certainly is a very sick design. Very sick, very cool Pokemon. It kind of breaks Pokemon X and Y, unfortunately. I feel like giving you a Mega Lucario around the 3rd gym is going to, it just was a little bit of an unfortunate strategy because it just kind of trivialized the whole game, but all right, Leafeon, sounds good, sounds good. Get some, hope you get some good rest. But yeah, certainly an interesting game design decision to give you a like 600 something BST Pokemon for free with an ability that makes its stab moves deal extra damage. After the 3rd gym, you basically get Super Saiyan Goku for 5 of the 8 gyms in X and Y. And the Elite Four. For nothing. You don't even have to catch it. They just give it to you. And they really don't, I think you might be able to technically say no to taking the Mega Lucario, but like, I think you have to press no like a number of times. I don't think it's an easy like, just say no. I think they like hound you on it. And they're finally like, okay, I guess not. Yeah, definitely. Definitely not the brightest decision in the world, I don't think. Especially given the fact that, like... Where was I going with that? I don't know. It's just weird. Weird decision. I know Lucario's a cool Pokemon and a fan favorite, so that could potentially be why. I think it would have been a really cool idea if, like, Karina and Lucario were, like, watching over your journey after taking interest in you during the 3rd gym and all that stuff. And, like, after the 8th gym, once you've defeated Team Flare and, like, you know, proven yourself through the gym challenge, it's like, okay, you've earned Lucario's respect. You beat it in a battle, you can, like, have it or something. And then it's like, okay, Mega Lucario still would kind of trivialize the Elite Four and Champion to an extent, but, like, it's not the strongest thing in the world against the water type dude. I'm forgetting his name completely. The chef guy. You know, water types do resist one of Lucario's stabs. I think he has a Gyarados who resists both stabs. What is that guy's name again? The water type Elite Four member from X and Y. Seabold. That's the name, Seabold. And then, you know, Malva's a fire type trainer, which as a steel type Lucario has to be a little wary of. And then, I guess actually really the Elite Four is not too terribly weak to Lucario. Like, yeah, there's a steel type dude, but he, you know, Wixstrom has an Aegislash, which is a pretty damn good Pokemon into Lucario. Now, I think Lucario does learn, like, Earthquake or something. Now, Diantha, though. Diantha gets mopped by a Mega Lucario. Homegirl does not stand a chance. The champion does not stand a chance against a freaking Mega Lucario. Not one bitty bit. But the other four, and they might, you know, they might be able to hold their own fairly well against the fighting steel type. What I'll always remember the X and Y Elite Four for is their rooms. I'm a sucker for good staging, good presentation, and man, the rooms and the X and Y Elite Four are sick. Now, I still think that the Unova Elite Four Generation 5, I think they have the best staging, best presentation. Their rooms are just clean, very clean. But X and Y does it pretty damn good as well. I like the big kind of open cylinder cathedral look with the big columns or whatever. You know, Seabold has the water, Malva has the fire, Wixstrom has like two giant swords or something. I don't remember what Drasna has, but I still think I remember it being pretty cool. I mean, dragons are pretty easy to decorate with. They're pretty fierce, pretty menacing. Maybe Diantha's wasn't quite as cool, but I mean, to be fair, Alder's isn't that great either in black and white. Iris, though. Iris has a sick-ass room in black to white, too. I am personally of the opinion that Iris is the second best champion in all of Pokemon. Cynthia's number one, obviously. I think Iris is really slept on. I think Iris is fairly challenging. I think she has a great theme. The battle setting is really cool. Not just like the room that you encounter her in the Elite Four, but like her actual battle is like in the stars or something. I don't know why. You're not literally battling in space, but like there's still a very like spacey background around you for some reason. It's just, I don't know, it's just really cool looking. And I'm just a sucker for dragon type trainers that break the mold and don't only use dragon types, but the Pokemon they use like makes sense, you know? I just like that Iris has, I'm trying to remember, I feel like I conflate her challenge mode team and her rematch team and her regular team, but like she'll have stuff like Hydreigon and Salamence, you know, Haxorus, Druddigon, the typical kind of dragons, but then she'll also have, you know, Lapras and Archeops, stuff like that, Aggron, you know, Pokemon that aren't dragons. They cover dragons very well to help with like ice type weaknesses, stuff like that, other dragons. And they're draconic in some way, you know. You can kind of like Lapras, kind of you can like get a dragony vibe from Lapras. It looks prehistoric in that way, you know, that you kind of associate a dragon with. Same with Archeops, a little bit different, maybe not quite as much, but still to an extent, you know, Archeops can give you that draconic feel while not being a dragon type. And then obviously Aggron just, I guess just looking like a reptile kind of just gives you a dragon vibe without actually being a dragon. Now, I think she does have like a random Bouffalante, which doesn't fit. Obviously, it's a buffalo. It doesn't look like a dragon at all. But I do feel like it's a cool nod to Alder, because I feel like that's why she has a Bouffalante on her team, is to be like a homage to Alder, who had a Bouffalante. Would have been really sick if she had a Volcarona, but you know, that's just that. That's too much Alder's thing. That would just be stealing his thunder right there. Still waiting for the one dragon specialist with Samurott. But Samurott's a mammal though. Samurott's mammalian. Although, I mean, I guess the way it wears, it wouldn't be like the most out of place Pokemon on a dragon team, I don't think. But it is very aggressively mammalian. It just has like the headgear and stuff on it. Do I need to add an encounter right here? I think so. Maybe. Same way how Lance to a lesser extent, Lance, because Lance has like 3 Dragonites, which, don't get me wrong, I love that for Lance. Lance is my boy. He and I have very similar taste in Pokemon. But I do like how Lance also has stuff like Aerodactyl. Obviously not a dragon, but still fits a dragon type team. Charizard, you know, infamously not a dragon. It looks like it is a dragon physically, not a dragon type wise. I feel like at some point Lance uses a Tyranitar, which again, I could be wrong in thinking that, but again, it makes sense to see T-Tar on a dragon type team, even though it's a rock dark type. So I just think stuff like that's cool. I like when type specialists break the mold, but it's not like a mind-boggling decision. Like you can see the vision. It's not like Candace using a Medicham in Diamond and Pearl. Like, yeah, Medicham learns Ice Punch. Why is this on an Ice type Gym Leaders team? Did Iris never use a Bouffalante? Am I misremembering that? I thought she had one. Maybe I am misremembering. I don't know why I thought I remembered having to fight a Bouffalante. Doesn't remember there. Let's see. No, maybe she never has one and I'm completely wrong in that, aren't I? Yep. I don't know why I thought she had a Bouffalante. I was, yeah, very mistaken there. My bad. I for some reason thought she only had Hydreigon in her challenge mode team. That's what threw me off. For some reason I thought she had Bouffalante normally and then got Hydreigon in challenge mode. But no, she has a Hydreigon just straight up. It's challenge mode. She loses Drudagon and gets Salamence. But yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, I was wrong in that. She does not have a Bouffalant ever. I thought she did for some reason. Okay, well, it makes even more sense why her team works out, because she doesn't have a Buffalo on it. It's Hydreigon, Drudagon, Archeops, Aggron, Lapras, and Haxorus. And then in challenge mode, she replaces Drudagon for Salamence. Got it. I don't know why in my head I was just thinking, like, I remembered having to fight a really beefy. Actually, you know what completely threw me off there? The reason why I thought Iris has a Bouffalant is because when I did my White 2 playthrough where I only used normal type Pokemon, I fought her with the Bouffalant. That's why I'm like in my head, I'm like, why can I visualize a Bouffalant in Iris's battle in my head? It's because I used one to fight her one time. That is the entire reason why I thought she had one. I completely filled my own head with that notion from a battle I did with her. So yeah, my bad. But yeah, taking her down with an all normal type team was quite a challenge, especially when they were only using normal type moves. That was a fun challenge that I want to recreate someday. You know, I did that whole challenge myself with the intention of like making a video out of it eventually. I was like, oh, this will be a cool little Nuzlocke video, like beating White 2 with only normal type moves in Pokemon. But I don't know why I wasn't fully satisfied with it. I don't know what it was. I think it's because I abused a lot of evasion strats. Like, my main way of getting through tough battles typically fell down to setting up double team and like baton pass, and then using workup and then like sweeping. I feel like I should try and redo it with less evasion, less reliance on evasion. Now I know I've already pretty well limited myself by only using normal type Pokemon and only using normal type moves, but it does feel a little cheap to just go like, okay, send out this Pokemon, set up double team, baton pass out to a stronger Pokemon, set up a workup or two, spam return, win. You know, not the most original idea. I did have to do some pretty some more unique ideas here or there. Like taking down Chantal was a task and a half for sure, considering I only had one. There's only one normal type Pokemon in the entire game. Well, I guess there are two. There's only one that really counts, which is Stoutland, that can actually use Foresight to allow you to hit Ghost type Pokemon with normal type moves. The other Pokemon in the game is Skitty. Well, at least in White 2. I think in Black 2 you can get Baneri. So Lopunny's a tiny bit better than Delcatty. Not terribly much. One thing that kind of I was thinking I would utilize more in that playthrough is the fact that Skitty and Delcatty are like the only Pokemon out there that get normalized as an ability. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cheeky. This could be like, fun for strategies using Skitty or Delcatty, but I can use them to use any move in the game because they technically make every move normal type. So like Delcatty with Toxic, as long as it's normalized, I could use because it's technically a normal type move. But that strategy never came to fruition because, well, I think most of the time when I ended up getting a Skitty or Delcatty, they didn't have normalize. And then also, Delcatty's just a bad Pokemon. So it just didn't really do anything. It did not help out quite like I would have thought it would. What was really clutch though? Guts Raticate. Guts Raticate. Especially, you got to get through a good bit of the game. You only get Facade before the 8th gym. So you don't get to utilize Facade for most of the game. But even so, max return, Silk Scarf, Guts, or max power. Oh, I almost started fighting the Victini. Max power return with holding a Silk Scarf with Guts activated. Stab, all that. Still hits freaking crazy hard. That still hits like a truck. And then once you actually get Facade, man, you are outputting some serious damage. And surprisingly, Guts Raticate is a lot more reliable than Toxic Boost Zangoose. Toxic Boost Zangoose is technically still available in Black 2, White 2. Toxic Boost is Zangoose's hidden ability. You can technically get it through a hidden grotto, so it's kind of available. But surprisingly, I just found that Raticate was more useful. I don't know what it was. Even though I think Raticate's probably I think it's maybe a little bit faster than Zangoose. Although I think Zangoose's attack stat is 30 to 40 points higher, so it hits a lot harder. But the thing about Toxic Boost is it only works with Toxic. So if you get paralyzed, poisoned, paralyzed or burned is what I meant. All right, and not just Toxic. It works with poison as well. You don't have to just be Toxic. How would you self-inflict that? So what I did was in the Castelia sewer, there were wild Grimers that know poison gas. So anytime I wanted to self-inflict a poison on any of my Pokemon, I would just run around the sewers until I found a Grimer, and then just not hit it until it poison gassed me and then run away. Now, at a certain point during the game, you do get access to either the Toxic Orb or the Flame Orb. In a Reversal Mountain, you can get either of those items. So early in the game, that's how I had to rely on the wild Grimers poisoning me. But once you get to Reversal Mountain and you get access to those orbs, then you just gotta, the really cheeky strategy was equipping the Flame Orb to eradicate, going into a battle with a low-level wild Pokemon, waiting one turn, self-inflicting burn, and then getting out of the battle, taking the Flame Orb off Eradicate. You're already burned. You don't need the Flame Orb anymore. And then giving it the Silk Scarf again. So yeah, there are little reliable ways to work around it. The getting poisoned by Grimer was definitely very annoying. Especially because, anytime I seemingly wanted to find Grimer, they just never showed up. I would run around the sewers forever where is this damn Grimer? Oh, absolutely. The fact that poison in these games does not impact you in the overworld, very clutch. Very clutch. In fact, these Breloom right here have Poison Heal. So I could pre-poison them to go into this battle right here. I thought about doing it. When did I take damage on one of... I just realized my Breloom on the left up there is missing 6 points of HP. When did I take damage? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I thought about pre-poisoning these Brelooms so that they have their Toxic Heal going, or their Poison Heal going. That way I can just regenerate, as the battle goes on with the Shiny, but I didn't. I thought about it last second, didn't have time to do it before the stream, so we are here without our poisoned Breilooms. But in between this and the next stream, I will make sure to poison them. I don't think I have access to the Toxic Orb in black and white. Can you get, where would you get the Toxic Orb in black and white? Is it just like a... Is it like the battle subway? Do you have to get BP to get those? Is that what it is? I don't know. Luckily, we're not in a life-threatening emergency. I believe I can work with the 6 damage that we have taken. But would you consider hunting Emerald Mew? Oh, I'm 100% going to hunt Mew and Emerald. That is how... I mean, I think that's the only way I can shiny hunt for Mew for this. So, yes, I will be hunting for Mew and Emerald 1000%. When I'm going to be doing it, I don't know. I still got to get that all set up. But at some point in time, I will do that hunt. And I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a really fun hunt. I'm looking forward to looking for Mew that way. Because I've never once in my life done that event. I've never figured out how to access, you know, the old C map, getting to Mew and everything. I've never done that, so that'll be fun to do. Plus, Mew has an incredible shiny. I love Mew's shiny so much. I wish Dragonite had that shiny. I wish Dragonite had the nice light blue shiny like Mew and Psyduck, you know. That's a nice shiny right there. But maybe I can, well, building up BP in the battle subway is time consuming, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure out some way to pre-poison my Breilooms here. They sell cartridges on the... How does that work, though? Like, how do those cartridges put the event on your game? Also, like, well, yeah, I don't really know how those work. But what I've been planning on doing whenever I get around to looking into it, God, I have this Game Shark right here for GBA games. So my plan is to use this to access Mew, Breloom, all that. And not Breloom. Why did I say? I was looking at my screen. Breloom. Deoxys is what I meant to say. Completely opposite of Breloom there. Yeah, so I'm planning on, you know, I bought the Game Shark for that purpose of using the codes and stuff to give me access to Mew, to Deoxys, to, well, I guess I have action replays to give me access to Celebi. What other events are there for me to do in Generation 3 with the... Is it really just, is it just Mew and Deoxys? I guess you can also do like the you know, get the Eon ticket or whatever for the extra Lottie. But I'm planning on hunting the Lotties in Black 2 White 2, so I don't think I'll need that. So yeah, really, I guess I just need that Game Shark right there for Mew and Deoxys. Roost, what up? What up? Glad you got yourself a good restful nap there. Also, happy birthday to Pokemon Conquest. You might have thought I was wishing yourself a happy birthday there. I don't know when your birthday is. I do know. I saw on Blue Sky earlier today. Pokemon Conquest came out today, 13 years ago. So happy birthday to that, to you, Roost. I saw that and I was like, hopefully Roost joined the stream today so I can wish him a Pokemon Conquest happy birthday. Which is great. It's freaking 13 years. That's wild. Which also means me and Pokemon Conquest almost share a birthday. Kind of cool. No, so close. Just 2 days apart. Hey, you know, glad I can be your inspiration to start grinding out that game. What no better time than on the anniversary itself. Also, I'm trying to remember what the post said. I think it was from like Cerebi or something on Blue Sky. I think that they, in Japanese, Pokemon Conquest is called like Nobunaga's Ambition or something like that. Like the game just has his name in the title. I think that's what I read. Not gonna grind it. You have too many hunts. Focus on that. What's going on? What's going on after March 20th, which is only 3 days away. Not too far. Oh, new Assassin's Creed game. Gotcha. I haven't played Assassin's Creed in a long time. Good Lord. What was the last Assassin's Creed game that I played? Shit, it might have been the first one. I don't know if I've played an Assassin's Creed game since the very first one. It has been a minute. And I never beat that game. I played it just for fun. I just like running around and murking people. I just like diving off the top of buildings and doing parkour. I was like, story be damned. I'm just having fun living in the world. Oh, wow. That is dedication right there. Dedication to the cause. Have you 100%ed every Assassin's Creed game? Which, are there a lot of side quests? Again, it's been so long since I've played any Assassin's Creed. Are there like a lot of side quests in the game, or is it pretty straightforward, like story and, you know, not much else? All of them except one. Okay, gotcha. Fair enough. Well, why haven't you played them all? I know there's only 24 hours in a day and only 7 days a week, but like, come on, it's video games, you know. Gotta play every single one of them. Man, oh man. But why was the last Assassin's Creed woke? What was up with didn't hear anything about that. Did I add an encounter there? I think I need to. Fair enough. What would you say is the best Assassin's Creed game so far? Which one has been the most fun, the most immersive, coolest setting, location? I heard there was like a pirate one or something. I feel like that would be cool. I feel like a pirate one would be really cool. Oh, gotcha. Let's see. What's up with the main protagonist? Why are they woke? Don't tell me their skin color is slightly darker than white. Favorite one, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Vikings and Anglo-Saxon England. Oh, gotcha. I don't know why people give a shit. I do not know why people care. But yeah, Valhalla, Vikings in England, that does sound pretty freaking cool. So I can understand why that one is a favorite of yours. After watching, what's it called, Vinland Saga, I mean, Vikings, you know, Norse mythology, all that, it's always been pretty cool. But watching Vinland Saga, yeah, playing as a plundering Viking would be pretty freaking sweet. Now, why would they do that? Why would they put a female in the video game? Don't they know only boys play video games? How dare they? Shiny Celebi, what up, what up? How's it going? But I might have to look into that Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That does actually have my interest peaked. That does sound pretty cool. I need to get back into playing different video games. I do. I've exclusively played Pokemon for like 7 years now. I very occasionally play, you know, random other Mario related titles with like Emily or, you know, her family. I think I very occasionally play Smash Bros. Actually, the only time we ever really play Smash Bros is when Emily's little brother comes to stay with us and we play that a little bit. Like Mario Party maybe occasionally, but I haven't sat down and really like played a video game in 7 years. Now, granted, 7 years ago, pretty much the only video game I was playing exclusively was League of Legends. So I wasn't really too thorough with my video games back then either. It was play Pokemon games when the new ones came out, and then after a week or two of that, I then move back to just playing League of Legends constantly. So it's been a while since I really sat down and played a more wide variety of video games. And I bought a bundle on Steam of like every single Kingdom Hearts game that's like ever existed. I think I spent $60 on it. It was on sale. I bought that probably 2 months ago now. Haven't touched it. Haven't played a single second of it. I keep telling myself I'm going to. I just haven't. Well, I mean, it's just funny. Pokemon fans love playing as the girl. I think it's a pretty popular thing for Pokemon fans to choose the female character. I think more times than not, you see streamers and people online playing Pokemon. You know, everyone feels like chooses the girl. Yeah, I mean, it's a video game. At the end of the day, like, you can make people be whatever you want them to be. Fair enough. Unfortunately, I do feel like a large number, a very wide variety of video game communities are filled with the incels, as you call them. And that's why I could never get back into Call of Duty. I hear about like all the Call of Duty streamers, YouTubers, and I see the like culture around them, like the big ones at least. Obviously not all of them. There's good ones out there and everything, but I hear about some of those people and I'm just like, y'all sound just gross. Nope, we're not going down. Because, like, stuff like Warzone seems like it might be fun. Now, granted, I've never, what do they call those? What do they call those games? Like Fortnite, PUBG. What do they call those kind of games? Battle Royales, whatever. I was never much into them. I think I've never once in my life played a game of Fortnite. I think I've watched 2, maybe 3 games of it from other people playing, like in person. I think I watched my sister play once when she was staying over here a few months ago, and I watched a friend play once years ago. Never had any interest in Fortnite. I bought PUBG because all my friends are playing it and were like, oh, you need to play it, it's so fun. I think I played 3 games of PUBG and was like, I don't enjoy this. This is not for me. So now, idiotically enough, I did not refund it on Steam. I really should have. I just wasted like $20, $30, whatever it was. Granted, I think up until that point, I'd bought 1 game before on Steam, so I wasn't too familiar with how Steam worked at the time. I didn't realize that you could refund a game if you did it pretty quickly, so could have got my money back on that one, but you live and you learn. And then, yeah, other games like Warzone or whatever they are, the other battle royales that are out there, just never, like I said, they seem like they could potentially be fun, but I don't think they're actually for me. What is Fortnite even about? There's a bus in the sky, you drop on the ground, and you build things, and you shoot at 12-year-olds who get mad when you kill them. That's the gist that I've gotten from Fortnite over the years. That's about all I know. And I know Ninja is very popular, or was. It's been a long time. I don't know if Ninja's relevant still or not. I do remember when I was on TikTok, I would see the occasional funny clip from someone like streaming, and I guess they would be like 1v1ing children. I don't know why they were 1v1ing children. Maybe they were playing them online and the kids were talking shit, and so they decided to 1v1 them. And they were just, annihilating the kids, just killing them constantly, and, they were like on voice chat and the kids were crying. It could have all been staged. Who knows? Again, why these grown people are playing Fortnite, solo one-on-one with children, I don't know. Maybe that's a common thing. You just play one-on-one against random people. Sometimes they happen to be kids. But the way the kids freak out over dying was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't going front. It is kind of comedic. Saw a Twitter post about hot dog seller, I think, while playing. Oh, yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue about that. Just know, I know there's a lot of skins in the game. My sister plays Fortnite a lot. And whenever new like anime related skins for animes that we watch come out, she'll send me pictures, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, stuff like that. She'll send me stuff and be like, new anime or new skin just dropped, and I'm just like, sweet, looks cool. Occasionally some other stuff will come out like related to things that I enjoy that she doesn't. I guess she likes Marvel stuff, but not in the same level as like the anime. But she'll send me stuff about like, I guess Thanos was in Fortnite at some point or something. I don't know if he still is. And I know what people like doing the dances from Fortnite. I always hear people talk about doing the default dance. I don't know what that dance is, but I think it's from Fortnite. And I don't think I did. Alrighty, so thinking, looking at the time and everything, I think I'll probably go until like 1500. So I think 1500, that'll be a good stopping point for the day. We'll get a good like 400 encounters in on the day. I think it's pretty solid. Started at 1100, so if we can end around 15, that is a good day's work in the shiny huntings. I know if I realistically, I think I added the counter right there before the Victinis even showed up. I was just like, yeah, they're not shiny. I think realistically, if I want to complete this Living Dex in any short amount of time, I should probably do more encounters in the day than I do. But after a day's work, streaming for about 2 hours, that's a pretty good amount of time for me. Going any longer than that can get a bit cumbersome. Pizza shop roll. What role playing map? What do you mean? How do you role play a map? What does that mean? What do you think is the most overrated food? That is a great question. Do I have a great answer for that? Let's see. Overrated food. This, I think depending on who you are, I might really get some people with this one. So let me brace myself. I think bone-in wings, really overrated. Boneless, so much better. I think bone-in wings, overrated. Give me boneless any day of the week. That will be my hot take. I guess I could expand upon that a little bit by saying I don't like the work that goes into eating bone-in wings. It's kind of annoying and cumbersome having to work around the bone. And sometimes you accidentally bite the bone and it hurts. I don't like the feeling of it. It like sends a shockwave through your teeth. It's not fun. And there's just less meat. That's the whole point of eating the wings, is the meat. And I just feel like there's less of it. I know some people have like a fancy way of like putting the wing in there and like getting all the meat off of it at one time and like being super easy or something, but Coffee. Okay, well, I guess if we're talking drinks as well, I didn't realize beverages were in the equation here. I also don't really understand coffee culture myself. I don't think it's overrated. I do think people are a little. I gotta talk a little quiet here because Emily doesn't really enjoy her coffee. I don't want to get in trouble, but I do think some people take coffee a little too seriously. Just give me caffeine, I'm fine. I'd prefer it taste a little better. Coffee's a little bit too bitter for me. I like a nice soda or something, you know, caffeinated beverage. But in terms of outside of I was about to say that I think alcohol in general overrated, specifically wine. I also think wine's a bit overrated. I think if you're going to consume alcohol, do it responsibly. But I think cocktails are the way they go. I like a little fruitiness to my drink, I ain't gonna lie. I like there to be some little frills to it. I like it to be a little cute color, like blue or something. If I'm gonna ingest poison, I want it to be fun. And not like the after effects fun. I want the physical drinking of it to be fun. Again, if you do drink responsibly. I don't really drink that often. Never really been my thing, but if I do occasionally decide to have a drink when I go out, I like it to be a cocktail because I like it to taste good. I know there's some wines and stuff out there that like taste fine. Typically whenever I have wine, I don't overly enjoy the taste. Most of the time I feel like it's just not good to me, but some of them aren't bad. A nice cider, those are actually pretty good though. I enjoy a good cider occasionally. Like if you go to the mountains or something, you're just like sitting in the mountains on like a porch or something, nice little brisk wind blowing over you, the leaves are changing, just nice cider in hand. That's pretty nice. I do enjoy that. Again, does not happen very often in my life. Once every few years, but when it does happen, it's an enjoyable time. Yeah. Then I guess I'll continue on. So I've covered regular, just like traditional food. You know, the wings were my thing right there. I'll say alcohol, specifically wine, I think is overrated. In the dessert realm, we'll head over to desserts now. What kind of dessert do I think is overrated? That's really tough because I love dessert, you know. You don't get to be a big boy like this without loving some dessert. So, is there any dessert I think is overrated, though? Overrated desserts. Jeez. It's hard to say that any kind of sugar is overrated. Like, sugar is just good. Trying to rack my brain for like every type of dessert that's out there. Say it's overrated. I don't know if I can come up with one, to be honest. Like there might be something real niche out there, but it's just not popping to my head immediately. There's like maybe specific types of something. Like I don't even know if I'd say it's overrated though. I was gonna say like I used to love chocolate cake, but now I'm at the point where, like, I don't know if I really like chocolate cake anymore. But I don't know if I'd say chocolate cake is overrated. I think it's pretty just averagely rated. I don't think anyone overrates chocolate cake. So you either like it or you don't. I don't think it's like one of those things where everyone's just like in love with it. I can't think of a good dessert, to be honest. That is tough. Speaking of being, there's one Yu-Gi-Oh! GX episode out. The dad of one of the main characters wanted to get in. Oh, you're all good. That is funny. Replacing it with hot sauce. That is interesting. I guess they're not as taboo about it over in Japan. That is funny. Hot sauce selling business. But yeah, I guess that could lead into a segue. I can't really think of anything on the dessert side, but the condiment side, an overrated condiment, I think it's ketchup. I think ketchup's a bit overrated. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy ketchup in certain, on a burger is about the only time I'm really like choosing ketchup for anything. And even then, a lot of times I might not even put any ketchup on a burger. But for like, if you're like just dipping in general, like ketchup is on a low end of my choices of dips. Low. High end, honey mustard. Oh my lord. I am a honey mustard fiend. I'm a fiend for the honey mustards. Love me some honey mustard. Behind that, a good Chipotle ranch. Love that. Barbecue sauce. Pretty solid. Regular mustard. Not a fan of regular mustard. I don't know anyone that dips anything in regular mustard. I feel like regular mustard is something you exclusively put on top of something, like a hot dog or a hamburger. But I don't think mustard's overrated. I feel like it's one of those like universal, you either love it or hate it kind of thing. I think it's just kind of it's a there thing. I don't personally like mustard. I don't think it's overrated like ketchup. But I will say I like ketchup more than mustard. Mustard, regular mustard, kind of gross. But honey mustard, oh my lord, don't get me started on some honey mustard. In high school, I worked at a Jersey Mike's, and we got free subs every day for a shift that was 4 hours or longer. And my manager, one day, I was making myself a sandwich for my lunch, and I don't only dip things in honey mustard, I also put it on stuff. And after making my sandwich, he watched me and he goes, "Dang, Andrew, you want a side of sandwich with that honey mustard?" I love me some honey mustard. Shit's just good. That is just some good stuff. But with that conversation, I'm going to end it off here. We got 2 final encounters on the night for Victini, ending us off in a nice clean 1500 encounters. Let us see if we can end off with a big bang. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta to you, Victini. Let us see it. The shiny that's been forgotten to time. Not today. It is not today. Oh, man. But still, I think this was a good stream. I think this was a good time. This is a fun hunt. I'm really looking forward to finding the shiny. Shiny Victini just looks really freaking good. Victini has a very nice shiny, and Game Freak Pokemon needs to get it together and just release the thing already. It is crazy we don't have Shiny Victini yet. But as always, super incredibly appreciative of everyone who comes out here and listens to me ramble like a madman and keeps me entertained here in chat. Always super appreciative of all of y'all. And I will be back again on good old Wednesday, most likely with this hunt, unless I some reason get bored and decide to do something else. We'll likely be back on Wednesday looking for Victini once again, and I look forward to seeing you all there. Celebi, see you later. See you later, everyone. See y'all on a Wednesday.